Welcome back. It's Tuesday, and we are opening up our mailbag, and with Marco Messina sitting at the desk. We asked for all of your Serie A questions. Oh, hello. Don't mind us over here.
The studio's falling apart.
We're fine. We're fine. Are we ready for some questions?
How do you say mail in Italian? Correggio?
I don't even know.
I love our
Mail.
Bring Bonaventura back.
How cute is our
You guys have
mailbox?
welcomed me very nicely today, by the way.
We love you.
This is very,
Yeah, that's not like us.
yeah, this is weird.
Yeah.
That's why you put me through that in the morning.
You made a good point, actually. We're getting soft. I don't like this.
All right. You ready?
Let's go.
Marco. Okay, this is a question from M. Santi, 2007. Thank you very much. Who is the best player in Serie A right now?
Ooh.
All right, since I'll repay the favor, you guys have been nice to me, I'll be nice to Nico. I'll go with Lautaro Martinez, the Argentinian. Top goal scorer. He's going to end as Capo Canoniere. And the reason I'll go for it is the way that he stepped up this season. Everybody thought, all right, it was Lula. Lautaro needed Lukaku. He needed a big number 9. Can he really be the guy? He got the captain's armband this year, and sometimes that could hurt you. But it made him. He fell in love with Inter. He became the guy in all the important moments to score goals. And I'll never forget the derby when they won 5-1, the first one. He didn't score any goals. He didn't score any assists. But watch all 5 goals. He was involved in the build-up play. So he did more than just the goals that he scored.
I don't remember if I asked you this. I think I did. Lula or Tula?
Tula.
Ooh.
I think I did. And you said the same thing. I'm pretty impressed.
I'm prisoner of the moment.
That he was.
I'm being prisoner of the moment.
Man,
So sweet.
Fair, though.
He was
Also, come on, you guys had him on.
No, Lukaku Lautaro was awesome. Don't get me wrong. They striked an incredible partnership. There's just something to this Thuram Lautaro that gives me faith, because I didn't think he was going to find a partnership that quickly.
They get their teammates involved more.
Thuram gets
They get their teammates involved more. It was always Lukaku, Lautaro. It was just them. It's the 1-2, boom, you know what's going to happen. Now the wing backs are scoring goals. Even Fratesi will come in off the bench. He'll bomb forward. He'll score a couple goals late. So I think that's, as a team, he's made that better.
What about Dila?
Wait, what about your guys?
Dilu.
Who's
What
your
about
favorite
Dybala and Lukaku?
in the league?
My favorite player in the league?
Christian Pulisic.
I mean, that's the most American way to answer
Thank
that
you.
question. I would say of all the players, I mean, maybe if American, I'd actually say I think McKennie impressed me a lot. To go from being on the outs with Juventus, winning his position back, being essential, Christian Pulisic had an amazing season. I think overall, I think Lautaro Martinez is probably my favorite player to watch because he's actually scoring, which he doesn't always do, and he's become more consistent.
I really like the Inter midfield 3. The dynamism that they bring to the table, especially Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the way he has transformed over the years. He used to be at Bayer Leverkusen. He used to be like a 10, like a creative midfielder, and they've inverted a triangle. He's playing out of the back behind the center backs, and Barella, Mkhitaryan, chapeau.
Yeah.
That is such a fun midfield 3.
I want to
love
adjust
that.
my answer because you just reminded me. Bastoni.
Bastoni's good.
Incredible. The way he
really
gets
good.
into space, looks coming up from I mean, I love it. Love what he's doing.
He's the kind of modern center back that we're having in Serie A now, like Calafiori, that if you wanted to say this, they could play like a Manchester City, for example, because they're so good at going forward and very technical, good on the ball, can cross it, get involved in goals.
When Saudi Arabia was being rumored to go after Gabriel Magalhaes, I thought Bastoni would make a great replacement. Him and Saliba together, incredible.
Awesome. Great question. Okay, let's move it along to our next one. This is from Gunnar Matson. Thank you so much, Gunnar. This is a good one. What does Atalanta need to do to beat Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League Final?
They need a miracle is what they need against this Leverkusen side that they never die. It's funny, Grilla and I, we had a debate before their Atalanta's match against Juventus where he said the game against Bayer Leverkusen is a better matchup for Atalanta than the Juventus one was. And I thought he was crazy. I was like, come on, have you seen the way Juventus has played? And he does make a good point that there is space when Bayer Leverkusen play, and playing against a low block is one of the toughest teams ever. Yeah. So what do they have to do? They have to exploit that space. The problem is, even if you go up 1 goal, even if you go up 2 goals, Leverkusen doesn't stop. They never die. And the biggest thing that I saw when Leverkusen played Roma in the semifinals is the space in behind. Roma played a high line. Atalanta liked to play a high line. Frimpong was doing whatever he wanted, and Xabi Alonso found a solution no matter what. He played Florian Wirtz as the false number 9. You got the space in behind, boom, and they did whatever they wanted.
Personally, I don't think that Roma matchup is specifically a good example because Roma had to go up. The first leg was so bad from Roma that they had to really go for it in the second leg instead of have a feel for the game.
But the way that they started in the first match.
They did, and they were aggressive. And you know what? Maybe Atalanta needs to bring that, get on the front foot first. Those spaces that Bayer Leverkusen leaves in behind, they're okay with that because they manage them so well. They're exposed. Charlie, we were talking about this with Charlie the other day. They're exposed, but they never fall to that being exposed because they manage the spaces really well.
They had a couple moments though, like against Karabakh, they do let in goals.
And then they come back.
I know.
And it's it's a mirage. Their counter pressing is so good that they're almost showing you space, hoping you go into that because they know how to defend once you get into that space.
They have this thing with the center backs, with the three center backs that's fantastic. Whether it's Tapsoba, Kusunu, Incapié, or Ta, whoever it is out of the four that's playing the three. You try to build out of the back, or you try to jump into the midfield. They don't even afford you the space to play a ball in behind. They're right on top of you. They're right. They're snappy. They bite and throw in Andrich in there. Throw in Xhaka in there. Atalanta's gonna have to play the perfect freaking game. They're gonna have to be their best game under Gasperini ever.
The one thing Scamacca's going to have to be a sniper.
The one thing I will say, Leverkusen does have that ability that they're never out of games. Atalanta has the same thing. They are very resilient. They fight, they believe into the last second, and they also have the technical ability that can also bounce back from it. They're missing Derun, which is the big miss. He's the captain. He's been with them since the beginning. It's a huge loss, but like you said, Atalanta need to be perfect. I'm maybe not as optimistic. Grella says that Atalanta's going to win by 2 goals. He's not optimistic. It's more than I would say, but I hope that he's right. I hope they find a way.
I'd love to see Pops win a trophy, man.
As much as I would love that, it'd be a real shame if Leverkusen did all of that.
I know,
they did the Bundesliga unbeaten. That's good enough.
Very
all
spread the wealth.
I get
Let Atalanta get something.
To the final match of the season.
It would be wild. And I'm excited to see Atalanta in Champions League next year. That's very cool. What an achievement for them. I'm proud of you, Dad. Okay, we've got one more question from Tony Fabri. Hello, Tony. What is your favorite Serie A moment, Marco?
I wonder if it's the same as mine.
Oh, you want to go first?
No, you go first.
I've loved Bologna's story. Just the atmosphere that they've built around the Italian football. They've shown they're everything that's right with Italian football. Serie A, if we just say the truth, they don't compete financially with the Premier League, with Real Madrid. We compete with ideas. And Bologna has shown that with proper ideas, a team that should have finished in like mid-table is able to go far, and you could do more than what's at your disposal. And it's also speaking to people in Bologna. I have an uncle that lives in Bologna. I have friends that live in Bologna. They say the stadium is rocking like they've never seen before. They say you'll go to the stadium, you see people that have never been there. So they created this atmosphere in the city that's infectious.
That's beautiful.
Really cool.
It is different than mine. Mine, for me, it would be Daniele De Rossi seemingly changing Roma on a dime in one fell swoop, a team that looks so defensive and so devoid of ideas, all of a sudden be this attacking, fun team to watch. Shocked. I mean, we spoke on this show, Jose Mourinho, he won you a European trophy, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden this guy comes in. I thought, what a shame to get your dream job so early and in such a weird situation and having to make such a big shift. And he did it. And it's such a beautiful thing.
You stole his.
Did I?
No, yeah, but I agree. It's just the shocking part is that, like you said, in one fell swoop, rarely have I seen in football a team change so suddenly, and there's a new manager bounce. Sure, that definitely exists. This wasn't a bounce.
No. At what point did you realize that it wasn't just a bounce? How many matches of him being in charge?
You know what? When they picked Brighton apart, when they mopped the floor with Brighton.
That's
2 Italian managers going after each other, and it didn't finish as well as it started.
Yeah.
I think there was a end of the season slump that. This
No
Roma
Champions
felt
League.
like
That's the bitter part. We got 5 teams in Champions League, and Roma, you weren't able to be part of them.
Yeah.
That's not De Rossi's fault, the club, but.
Yeah.
Well, you said Serie A was struggling financially. Your money about to go up. You got 5 teams in Champions League.
Could be 6 if Atalanta would win against Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that.
That would be
Every show's going to become like this then.
Marco, set your alarm, buddy. You're going to be making lots of
No problem. If that happens, anytime you want me, I'm here.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much.